everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games. Just wanted to start off a new, hopefully, new video series where I just talk about what I'm playing, what I'm doing, like a video blog kind of thing. I think that's what we're going to go for. So, what have I been playing? What have I been working on? What have I been hobbying recently? So, some of you may already know if you watch our Twitch streams, but I've been fully enthralled in Legions Imperialis. There's just something exciting from my initial forays into the Games Workshop hobby scene about tiny little Space Marines, because one of the first products that I got when I first got invested in the hobby back when I was 10 or 11 years old was Space Marine, the box set that came out at like Christmas time, and it was a big box set that had Space Marines and a Titan and Orcs and Eldar stuff in it, and it was tiny little bases of 6mm guys that you could, they were on little square bases, and there were battle wagons for the Orcs and Falcon Grav tanks for the Eldar, and the Land Raiders and Rhinos for the Space Marines. So you could do massive games involving hundreds of figures in an afternoon, because that's just the way it was. And this, before I'd even played a game, was like, sucked me back in. So I was excited about Titans when the Adeptus Titanicus stuff came out, and we got tiny Titans, but they were bigger than the original Titans, like twice the size of my original Titans from when I was a kid, without the beetle back shape as well. I like the new ones look absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Titans was very exciting to me. I had a bit of a bad experience with my first Warlord Titan, let me tell you about that. I've not got it to hand. I'll put a picture of it up in the thing, but I really wanted to take off the Imperial, because I want them to be traitors, you see. So I wanted to take off let's take my glasses off, because they're causing a little bit of glare I can see on the camera screen. So wanted to take off the Imperial Eagle on the carapace of the Titan. So I've got a little Dremel, I've got myself a little tool, and I tried taking it off. But I was a little bit clumsy about it, and it looked horrific, like it had been mutated or something. The tool was spinning so fast, and it's melted the plastic. It just looked trash. However, now I have what I've been looking for I don't know, 3-4 years or whatever, since I first built that Warlord Titan. Maybe even longer, because I think we were in our previous store, so at least 5 years ago that we got it. First Warlord for Adeptus Titanicus, is some armour carapace pieces that don't have the symbols on around the edge. And I finally found somebody has done a set of 3D print files, so I can replace those, the ones that I've trashed, because it's just been in a box for all this time, because I've just been like mortified that I couldn't do anything with it, and I really wanted it to look cool as a Traitor Titan. So I've gone on a little bit of a tangent, but finally my Titan will be able to stride across the battlefield without looking trash. So one of my friends, Al, he's a very bad influence on me, was like, I've been watching battle reports and stuff on Legions Imperialis, and we've been stocking it ever since it first came out. I've had a demo set stuck on the shelf in the stock room that I've never had a chance to do anything with. Didn't really have the motivation to do anything with it, because I've already got some Warhounds built, I've already got a Reaver built to go with the Warlord that I've already got, and I didn't really have the motivation to do it, because I was like, it's tiny little men, they come in so many parts, do I really need to start another game or whatever? Anyway, he's badgered me into it, and to start off with I said, no, I'm only doing Titans and tanks, that's it. I'm doing Titans and tanks. I'm not really bothered about doing infantry, because they're tiny, it's hard, and I get like limited time for painting as it is. Who knew running your own business was time consuming? So it's Who knew? So yeah, I'm only going to do Titans and tanks. That's it. I'm not going to bother with the infantry. And what I was thinking was, eventually I might individually base some of the infantry figures and go back to another project that I've had from 20 odd years ago, where we singly based epic minis and played 40k at epic scale. So I'm thinking like, I could individually base these figures that I've got left over, because there's assault marines and devastators and terminators and stuff. I could play 30k at epic scale. That'd be really cool. Could play it on a lot smaller table. Anyway, another project, another idea. So I watched a couple of battle reports, and I watched a couple of other people's YouTube videos about Legions Imperialis. And then that was all it took. You see, I'm fully sucked in, hyper focused for the last 2 weeks on Legions Imperialis. So dug out the starter box that I had. I'd already taken the bases out of it, because we'd had a customer who'd had a set that was missing the bases. So I took the bases out. It was someone that we knew locally, so I took the bases out and give the bases to that person, while we requested some replacements from GW, which unfortunately they don't sell that bag of bases separately. We've never got replacements, so no bases in this set. So what I did was I got that set out, and I got all excited looking at the sprues. A lot of people have told me that what you should do with the Legions Imperialis stuff is paint it on the sprue. That's not happening for me. I hate painting stuff on the sprue. So what I did was I clipped them all off, and I stuck them on some Renedra 25mm round bases. So here we go. This is some tiny little Terminators. Now, under the rules and the guidance in the book and the instruction book and what have you, you're supposed to put 5 minis on a base. So a 25mm round base should have 5 models on it. I think the standard Space Marines, let me find a command sprue from my little bag here, command stand. So the standard Space Marine squad, so these aren't finished painting yet, don't, right, if that'll focus. So this is one of my bases of command. I've painted my guys as Alpha Legion in a nice tealy green colour, but there's supposed to be 5 guys on this base. There's 4 guys on this base, and it is pretty crammed. You'd never get 5 guys on there and paint them successfully, and I hate painting stuff on sprue. So what I decided to do was the standard power armoured Marines. I've put 4 to a base, which means you end up with a couple of extra guys, so you can make a couple of extra bases worth of stuff, which goes around. I'm not going to be planning on playing in any tournaments, so I'm not too worried about having 5 minis on a base, because really the only thing that matters with these guys is like having them on the table so you can take them off when they're dead. They're essentially tokens, and so most of these have 1 wound and they're getting taken off the table dead easy. So 4 guys in power armor on a base. I put 3 Terminators on a base, because on the sprue, the Space Marine infantry sprue, you get 6 Terminators on the sprue, so you get like 1 spare off the thing. So 5 guys normally supposed to go on a base, but I've put 3 on, so I've ended up with double the amount of Terminators stands for my money, which I think is quite sensible. So Terminators, Devastators and Assault Marines, I've ended up making double the amount of bases worth of stuff, because I've only put 3 guys on the base, and once I've got some base texture and stuff on there, they'll fill up nicely and they'll look great, I think. So I've only built the Space Marine side of things. I've cut a deal with one of our friends who he's had all the Solar Auxilia stuff. Solar Auxilia has little interest to me. Maybe the tanks could have some Lehman Russes to stick on the bases of my Titans or whatever, but I'm not too worried about that. So what I've done is I've built all the stuff out the starter box. We'll take a little picture of that, put it up here somewhere. And then so far I've built extra a box of Rhinos and a box of Kratos heavy tanks, which get 4 of those in a box, and they are this big. Pew, 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 pew. Now, when I built these, possibly, if you're thinking about getting into Legions Imperialis, possibly would be advisable to look at the rules and decide what loadout you want to go with. So I went with the melter cannon and all the las cannons, because rule of cool, melter cannon looks pimp. It's got this huge like flared end on it with all the little slots in the side, because it's a melter gun and it looks awesome. And then I put las cannons everywhere, because las cannons are obviously better than heavy bolters. However, in game, because we had a tester game last night, in game, this heavy gun that I've put on here has a range of 8 inches, which is absolutely abysmal. We were playing on a small table as well, just to get our head around the rules. But if you're playing on the full size 5 foot by 4 foot table, a range of 8 inches is going to be terrible. So I glued everything together now. So what I'm going to do is, when I play games with these in future, this is definitely going to be a counts as Kratos battle cannon or whatever it is on there, because I've glued it together now and it looks cool, but 8-inch range in game is absolutely shocking. So I've built those things, and then I've got a few other things yet to build. So I've got some Legions support. So this comes with Leviathan dreadnoughts, Derideo dreadnoughts, rapiers, tarantulas. They look cool, so I've got some of them to build. Extra support for my guys. And then we've also got some Legion fast attack. So this is land speeders and jet bikes and regular outrider bikers. So I've got those to put together. And then a couple of other bits and pieces, that some more infantry and what have you. And I've got some land raiders to transport my Terminators. But what you really need to do, as I've discovered, because I find the layout of this book a little bit confusing. So in here is force organisation charts, and you really need to have a look at the force organisation charts so you can see what you actually need and what you're going to use. Now there's a great app, a website, Legion Builder, where you can look and you can see what kind of things you can put in your army, because you look at these diagrams and you think like, oh, that looks cool, I can have that and that. But what it actually means is that you need to have certain assets, certain things. So like 1 base of command, and then 4 stands of tactical marines, and then you can add other bits and pieces to it. But you have to have so many bases of tactical marines for every extra support thing, like Terminators or whatever that you put with them, and then a lot of those can't split away from the other unit that they're attached to. So if you have some tactical marines with some Terminators, they've got to maintain so many inches of coherency and what have you. So it can be a little bit confusing building your force, I think, rather than just saying, well, it's 30 points for 2 bases of Terminators and it's 25 points for 4 bases of tactical marines, so I'm going to have that. And then you can't just deploy your Terminators over here and your tactical guys over there. They've got to go together because they're 1 slot in your force organisation chart, as far as I can tell. So some of these things are a little confusing. The data sheets lend themselves to just being like, this is your unit, buy that, play with that, like you do in 40k, but it doesn't work quite like that. What I would like to see in the starter box, because the only way currently you can get this rulebook is by buying the starter box or getting it as a PDF, as far as I know. What I would like to see with the starter box is a learn to play guide that takes you through the first few steps of a game, maybe playing with like some suggested armies that you would build out of the core box, so you know how you're putting a force together. But this is a bit lacking in beginner friendly type stuff. So this apparently is based on the older version of, the newer version of Space Marine, which is like Epic Space Marine. So the version that I remember had little square bases with 5 guys on, but then there was another version that came after that was referred to as Epic, where they were on little strips. And these rules apparently are based on those rules, rather than the earlier version that I played, which had different force organisation charts and what have you. The version that I played had little cards, so you had a little card that was like 6 bases of tactical guys with 3 rhinos and that was, I don't know, 50 points. So you could buy a whole 100-point company that was like so many different squads of Marines with. So it was like a tactical company or a battle company that had devastators and what have you. And anyway, that doesn't exist anymore. Forget about it. So this game is a little confusing. There's a couple of things. It's great that in one way the starter box comes with whippy stick range rulers that we all know and love. The red whippy sticks that have started making a resurgence. They were a classic part of GW games when I was in my teens. You get a bag of dice that's got scatter dice and stuff. You get a nice set of templates. You get the full bright orange template set. You get some play sheets. So you get a couple of play sheets which are relatively helpful. What I would like to see GW do on play sheets like this in future, apart from the fact that this is on like really thin card, and they used to be printed on better stuff, but have references to what page this shortened version of the rule is in the rulebook. That would be handy. And maybe that could be like a 2-pager, you know, like an A3 folded size bit of card that maybe has a bit more info on it. I mean, this is just very much the basics. But then it comes with a sheet of tokens, and the tokens are about the same card quality as this. They're not like decent, thick tokens like we've had in games before. They're pretty bad. You do get loads of them, obviously, because it's like a whole sheet, and you need those for orders and other bits and pieces that you need in the game, but they're so thin it's very difficult to punch them out of the sheet without tearing them. So it's not a review, that's sheer criticism, Games Workshop. I am sorry. They're pretty bad. And the layout of this book is also a bit bad. I mean, the artwork in it, things like this, absolutely beautiful in the background, and very much like the Horus Heresy book series. So across the bottoms of the pages we've got these beautiful photo arts, probably recycled out of the Horus Heresy books, but yeah, they look wicked. The minis are great. They're too small, they're in too many parts. Let's cover some of that off. So rambling a little, I appreciate, but you know, anyone that watches our Twitch stream may be used to my thing. This is the fast attack sprue. So you get 2 sprues of this in a box. Now then, so a jet bike, as you can see here, a jet bike comes in how many parts? 3, at least 3 parts to build this jet bike. So you've got the little wing pieces here at the front, you've got the body of the jet bike, and then you've got a selection of riders. So at least 3 bits. The land speeders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 7 parts for a land speeder that is going to be this big and sit on like a 25mm base. At least 6 parts for a land speeder. These things are in too many bits, Games Workshop. Rhinos, there's a couple of things about this game that aggravate me. Rhinos, these exhausts on rhinos are separate pieces. That could be like, so this rhino comes in, there's a base, there's 2 sides, there's a top. Is the front panel a separate part? I think the front panel, this bit here at the front, I think that is one part. The sides are another part. The back and the bottom is one part. The dozer blade is a separate part. 4 exhausts, all separate. And this turret, this little dude in the turret there, that guy with his multi-melter, that's 2 parts. The guy is a separate part to the turret. Totally unnecessary. With modern plastic moulding, I'm sure that they could have moulded those exhausts as part of the side pieces, like they're a necessary part. Fair enough, the dozer blade can be a separate part. You might not want to put the dozer blade on your tank. Why, when the multi-melter is already moulded as part of the turret, why can't they just mould the commander figure on there, or the gunner figure on as well? I don't know. It's just crazy. they're in so many parts. It's a good job that I have another pair of glasses that are magnifying lensed spectacles for when I'm painting and assembling tiny, tiny little men. Let's just chill out, because I'm excited about Legions Imperialis. I played a game last night. It was great. We played on a small table. I used all of the models that I've got, barring one base of Legion Command, because I didn't need them all. So I used all those models in that box. One of our other guys used a couple of Titans, and the guy that we were playing against had equal amount of Solar Auxilia points-wise, and also a couple of Reaver Titans. We had a great, simple little game. However, the guy that we were playing against chose a much better selection of orders and annihilated most of our force in the first turn of the game. It's just the way it goes. Just the way it goes. We were playing on a very short area. You're supposed to play on like a 4 foot wide table. We were on just over 2 foot. I don't know what I can say really. Titans are extremely effective. One of the Titans killed loads of stuff. The other Titan missed completely. I think it took 1 wound off a Kratos or something, and everything else whiffed. Heavy Sentinels are like pretty crazy. They seem to have loads of guns, and if they get to shoot first, they're great. Probably did a couple of stuff wrong. We only actually played 1 full turn because we ran out of time, because there was so much flicking back. None of us had really kind of prepared for the game in terms of reading the rules and what have you. So there was a lot of flicking backwards and forwards and trying to figure out what was going on. But it was great, and we had a lot of interruptions because it was Thursday night gaming, so I was jumping up all the time to sort folks out and what have you, and then yeah, just crazy. But a fantastic game that I did enjoy. Made a lot of jokes about my stuff getting killed and that I didn't really like it, and I was going to sell all my models and what have you, but that is not the case, because it's really kind of fun to be able to deploy a whole load of stuff on the table, and view it as kind of like a big, it's just a massive battle, huge game. Chose Alpha Legion because I really like the colour scheme. It's not anything about the rules. Didn't even know that they've got good rules. They can infiltrate units and what have you. Just wanted to pick a colour scheme, so a few of the guys are doing Imperial Fists, they're doing Blood Angels, can do some World Eaters. I wanted to go with Traitors. Handily, Alpha Legion can be good guys or bad guys, so that's good. I like the colour scheme. I play Alpha Legion in 30k as well, so that's good because I've already got some Alpha Legion specific dice, which coincidentally I didn't use last night, probably why I lost. But what I figure is I'm playing Alpha Legion. I could paint some guys up as some Imperial Fists. I could paint some guys up as some Dark Angels. I could paint some Fast Attackers, White Scars. And they're all Alpha Legion guys pretending to be those other guys, because that's allowed. That's allowed under the rules in my head, anyway. And everyone that I've mentioned it to seems like that's a pretty good idea. So I'm just going to paint 1 shoulder pad, Alpha Legion in their other livery, and that should be cool. So yeah, Legions Imperialis is my current game infatuation, and it's very hard not to. When I'm super focused, like I am about this right now, it's super hard not to get overly excited and just go out and go, oh, I think I need everything, because I probably do. Going to end up with loads of stuff that I don't need, and I've already acquired some Mechanicum bits and pieces to use as allies. So we've got some Titans, we've got a whole load of Space Marines, because I'm going to need some more infantry to bulk out these squads. I need more Terminators, I need more Devastators. Devastators are supposed to be great. Mine didn't get to do anything, didn't even get to roll a single dice. They got wiped out before they got a chance. So it's just need more terrain. So we played a couple of games. I put a photo or two up of top-down shots of the game that we played last night. We played in a very small area. We had nearly 2,000 points worth of stuff. It was too small, but we just wanted to roll some dice and see how the rules worked. It's just a fun game. It's not to be taken too seriously. Designed to play a bit of campaign, I think. So I've got some Mechanicum minis to use as allies. We've got some Titans. We've got some Space Marines. Going to need some more Space Marines. I like it. I do like it. I'm going to enjoy building and painting some more minis. And the terrain is cool. So the stuff that GW have previously released for Adeptus Titanicus, they've reboxed for Legions Imperialis because it's the same scale. So there's ruins, little Civitas ruins. I've built up a set of those already. I've got a couple more to put together. I've started building up some of the Civitas buildings. There's the Mechanicum stuff that's got the cranes and the big silos and other bits and pieces in. And one of the guys who comes to the shop has found some pretty awesome print files for some stuff that GW just don't make models for. Some nice round buildings with like huge coliseums and some bridges and some other stuff that's going to make the battlefields look absolutely awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited currently about Legions Imperialis. The book, the tokens, could definitely do with more work. I think Games Workshop, this could definitely do with a bit of an improvement, and the minis come in way too many parts. But on the other hand, keeps me quiet while I'm trying to figure out what I'm building and whether I've dropped it. Fortunately, I haven't dropped anything on the floor and not been able to find it yet because the bits are super small. But yeah, I'm enjoying Legions Imperialis. It's my latest infatuation, and I just wanted you all to know. So there's 25 minutes of me rambling about my latest hobby project. If this is the kind of thing that you would like to see more of, me talking about what I'm doing, then please give us a like and a subscribe, and check back for more videos in future. If you just had any queries about how I've painted my beautiful green, because a few of the guys at the shop did. So this is, I undercoated with, I mean this isn't finished, but just to give you a tip. So this is undercoated with Army Painter plate mail metal spray, and then the green is GW Contrast Achillean green, thinned about a quarter of a bottle worth with contrast medium, just to make it a little bit thinner. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to give these a little bit of a highlight dry brush with some bright silver with just a dab of the green in, just to give it a bit of a tinge, so it's got like a little bit of a highlight. And then I'm going to put some markings and some other bits and pieces on, but I haven't painted all the guns and stuff yet. I didn't get a chance to get that done before we got to play the game, but I think they look awesome. So there you go. Thank you everybody if you've stuck through the video while I rambled up to this point. As I say, if you wouldn't mind giving us a like on the video, think about subscribing to the channel, that'd be awesome if you don't already, and check out the next one, because next week I'll be talking either about some more Legions Imperialis, or unfortunately some other thing will have embedded itself in my brain, and I will have to talk to you about a different game system. But hopefully, I'll still be building Legions Imperialis, because I've got big plans. I've got big plans.